just filmed my entire mock draft with no audio, so gonna have to redo that. But while I take some time to recover mentally, the Lakers are looking to acquire a draft pick. I want to hear your thoughts down below. Do you guys like this? Right now, there's a lot of good players in the 30s, in my opinion, in my mock draft. And let's talk about it. Sam Vecenie said that a lot of teams currently in the 30s are trying to move out of the 30s. There's an expectation that a lot of picks will be moved as teams that currently don't have picks look to get picks in the second round, either via assets or just straight up purchasing them with cash considerations. And if your team doesn't have a pick in the draft, don't expect necessarily at the end of the night for them not to have a pick. Specifically, the Lakers have been said to be fairly active in looking to acquire a pick depending on how the board falls into the second round, according to Sam Vecenie of The Athletic. And don't be surprised if a number of expected draft picks end up unselected, because per sources of agencies, there have been teams calling about getting players on two-way contracts on picks all the way up in the 30s, and a lot of teams are hearing from players that they are, instead of being willing to accept a two-way contract, they rather test themselves in the summer league to earn themselves a contract, while vice versa, there are a number of players who are willing to accept the two-way contract as opposed to maybe a higher upside, going and testing yourself than Terrence Davis. Because if you guys know, Terrence Davis told teams not to draft him in the second round, and then he earned a contract with the Raptors, I believe, and now he's on the Kings, but he earned a contract basically guaranteed by going into the summer league and balling out. So there's some real depth in terms of the international class in the second round. So there's a lot of drafting staffs. But for me, look at this. In the second round, you're going to have people available. Personally, I think Kendall Brown, Trevor Keels, Andrew Nembhard, Wendell Moore Jr., Gabriel Procida, Josh Minnow, Patrick Baldwin, Don Barlow, Justin Lewis, Ryan Rollins, Deron Sebron, Matteo Spagnolo, Christian Colocu, Jalen Williams, J.D. Davison, David Roddy, Jabari Walker, Isaiah Mobley, Gabriel Procida, Hugo Benson, Christian Brown, Jared Roden, Khalifa Diop, Carlo Matakovic, Ron Harper Jr. are just among the names that expect to be in the second round available. So if you're a team looking for a pick, definitely look into the second round. I definitely think some stuff can come up in the second round. And, I think teams would be stoked to get themselves a player in the second round that they weren't expecting. So I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you guys think of this so far? Is there anybody you guys want to see your team pick up? And if so, who? I think it's definitely going to be an interesting. I think the draft at this point will be interesting due to the fact that it's a toss-up. There's a lot of guys who are 5-star prospects, in my opinion, who you won't see in the first round. Okay, there's a lot of first-round prospects that I expect to not be drafted in the first round. And it's nothing against their talents or anything. I just think this is one of the most volatile drafts in recent memory. So with that being said, I think there's a good chance that guys like Patrick Baldwin, Kendall Brown, Trevor Keels, Peyton Watson all slip into the second round. Max Christie is another guy that I really like, and I think he could slip into the second. And if he slips into the second, oh my Lord, okay? Because those are guys that I feel like a lot of people weren't expecting to be available in the second, and they're going to be available in the second. So let me hear your thoughts.